Hi friends, welcome back. So today's video is 5 Indian habits that the world wants to learn. Wow. So that's a beautiful one, and let's take some guesses. I'll make some guesses which I probably think are good habits, Indian habits that probably the world should learn, and especially in today's time. So we'll see if eventually, this video covers it or not. But I think the first one is joining hands and saying namaste instead of shaking hands and hugging each other or other different ways of greeting your friends or family. The other one I would say that I remember and is really good is that in old times, and I'm hoping that it still happens, but in old times when people used to enter their houses, they used to take off their shoes and then enter inside. And once they would enter, they would wash their feet and their hands with water. So I still remember, and if you remember, if you've seen movies of olden times, that used to happen, especially in villages. So that's another great one. Then let's see. The third one I think is where, the people in the old times, every time after eating food, they would do kurli. Remember? I've seen they would have like a little matka of water or something, and they would go and put some water in their mouth, shake it around and then spit it out after eating food, and they would wash their hands after that. So I think that is another great way because they're keeping their mouth clean and getting all the food stuff out. What else can I think of? Maybe, touching their elders' feet as a token of respect. That probably might be one, but I can't think of more at this moment because this was our sudden. But India has some really beautiful, habits. You guys also share with us which ones do you think before you watch this video. So let's see if my husband has any. So do you have any other than what I've said? I know I've covered the main ones, I guess. So it's going to be difficult.
I'm just going to say about good things. I think Indians are vegetarians. Many of them are vegetarians.
In today's time, that's very important.
Yeah, vegetarians. And then I would say other things that I think of Indians are very peaceful and non-violence. Those are the attributes. Mahatma Gandhi showed the world how non-violence could win. And then the other thing that comes is fasting. So
Yes,
when you
that's
fast,
a good habit.
when you fast, then you give a break to your digestive system, and that has many benefits.
Not only that, it also cleans your body.
Yeah, so it cleans your body because you can drink as much water as you want, but you don't eat food, and then your body gets cleansed. So I would say fasting, being vegetarian, non-violence, peacefulness, and rest. Are human beings are being hardworking and so forth. So I think these are the great attributes of India that I can think of.
Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and watch this video and see how many were we able to cover that this video is going to cover, and what additional did she speak of that at this moment we couldn't, grasp or remember at this very instant. So, okay, guys, let's go ahead and watch this video. But yes, friends, if you're new to the channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notifications of all our videos as soon as we upload them. And after watching this video, if you like it, you like those 5 habits she's talking about, then click the like button and share the video with your friends and family. So, okay, friends, let's go ahead and watch this video.
During the ongoing situation that has emerged due to the novel coronavirus, cultural habits are changing across the world, discouraging the habit of kissing or shaking hands and encouraging people to instead greet one another by doing namaste is also being seen. However, there are many cultural habits in Indians that the global community may find interesting. Many years ago, when I first came to India, I got a bit surprised when I saw Indians drinking water from bottles without allowing their lips to touch the mouth of the bottle. So now I'm going to show you how it works.
Like that.
So I know that Indians are expert at this, but I'm going to give it a try.
I can't do that.
So please forgive me if I make a mistake.
I could never do that. Even
I'm so sorry. Let me give it a try again. Now, if you have never done this before, be careful, because if you are not used to drinking water like this, you may even choke. But if you take it easy and do it slowly, it is not that difficult. Now, this may reduce the probability of transmission of infectious agents through saliva. Still, if your hands are carrying some infectious agent as you touch the bottle and if others touch it later, you may still end up passing on the infection to others. Another cultural habit that I learned in India is the practice of taking a shower after attending a funeral. And until one does that, one is not even allowed to sit anywhere or touch anyone else in the house. If the deceased had some infectious disease, this would make sense. However, more studies and researches should be done to explore these aspects of Indian culture so that we can reach more accurate conclusions. If you visit a traditional Indian house, you may notice that shoes are strictly placed outside the main
see, I
gate.
was telling you.
It is not allowed to bring them in. Also, washing hands after you touch your shoes and washing your feet after you take them off is recommended. There is a study that supports this practice. Dr. Charles Gerber, microbiologist and professor at the University of Arizona, discovered large numbers of bacteria both on the bottom and inside of shoes. I have also noticed that in Dharmic Indian traditions, the practice of kissing a sacred object is also mostly absent. For example, kissing the Holy Cross is a common practice in many Christian gatherings. It doesn't hurt to adopt the good habits of Indians, does it? Likewise, Indians may also adopt good practices from the West. And by the way, if you browse through the research-based articles on immune-boosting food, you will see a lot of them present in the traditional Indian kitchen.
Yeah.
After all, we finally understand that Indian food is not only about chili. Various spices that are used in traditional Indian cuisine are full of antiviral and antibacterial properties. The Indian traditions can also be useful if you are facing a situation of a lockdown. Yoga and meditation can help you stay fit and mentally stable while you remain isolated, and it can also help you in avoiding the risk of the transmission of infectious agents through the gym equipment. If you are a religious person, instead of having a mandatory Sunday visit to the church, you may consider praying at home. In their traditional system, Hindus do not have to have any compulsory temple visits. They have their tiny temples within their home. And most importantly, don't forget to visit the WHO official webpage for the accurate information and to get familiarized with the latest updates regarding the whole situation.
So friends, the video was nice, though it was a little short, but I think I covered at least 2 points even before I watched this video. But definitely, yes, the others ones were really are very important and really good ones. So here they talked about temples where we know we don't have to go to temples, or like, other places where other religions do, like for example, going to church where they have like Sunday masses and all that stuff, because we already have our little temples. Every Hindu has a temple at home, so you can just pray at home. So that is really beautiful, and somehow it did not strike me at that time. That was something she really caught on, which was great. And I am glad that I pointed out one that she didn't talk about, where, after eating every time, I still remember our elders used to do that. I mean, my grandparents, that after eating food, they would always, go ahead and wash their mouth, just with water. And the other great one was that they used to use that stick for, instead of using brush and paste, they use datun. And oh my God, if you still remember, that used to be horrible. I mean, it used to taste like poison. It used to be so kadwa, bitter, but it was considered to be really good for teeth. And I still remember my grandparents, they had really good teeth. They didn't have to go through any surgery for a very long time, till, where they were very old. Eventually, they had to some extent, but they never had any problems like we have even at this point. Like, we have to go to the doctor, we have to get our fillings done and things. So that also teaches us. The other thing is that we have neem ped. So if you know that neem ped, it cleanses the atmosphere. And it is the only tree that takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. I think in the night, it says. So I'm not quite sure, something like that. And I read it a long time back. So lots of other things. As I'm talking, it's striking me. So really an amazing video and fantastic things that she talked about. But she did say that just like we have such great, things that, probably the West should follow. especially in today's time. There are many other things that, the Westerns follow, which would probably also help us, and we should also go ahead and adopt those during this time. So, really nice. And yes, that reminds me also that when she was talking about drinking water, like, lifting the bottle without touching it to your mouth, guys, I cannot do that. But I'm better than her for sure. I can take one sip, put it down, not drop the water all around my face like she was doing. But there are some people who can just take the water, let it pour down, and they'll just gulp it, continuously like this, and it will go down. And my brother can do it. Can you do that? You can? Wow. He should probably show that sometime. I have never been able to do it, but that is fantastic. And not only that, by not touching the bottle, I don't think she talked about it. But when you're drinking it by not touching the mouth of the bottle, you are also, not getting infection, because who knows how the water was filled in the bottle, who touched the top, whether it's clean or not. So when you're not touching it and drinking like that, you're also, protecting yourself from any kind of diseases or, germs that are on that bottle. So that's another great way. And plus, you can share that bottle because you're not touching the mouth of the bottle. So if you drank and the water is there, we say, हमने झूठा नहीं किया bottle को, right? So you can, if somebody else is thirsty, that person can also probably, drink from the same bottle, and that would be safe. So once again, really nice and informative video, but I think I probably gave a few more points than she did. But I really enjoyed watching this.
Right. So this was a good video, and some of the other things is that, in our time, when it was summers and it was pretty hot, people used to, normally would sleep on the roof when it
Yeah.
is colder. And at that time, you will have surahi. So surahi is a smaller version of a ghada. Ghada is a big one where you can keep the water and it remains cold, but surahis were there. So when you have like
Those
in
are
a
like
family,
clay pots, right?
yeah,
Clay
so
pots.
small sarahis, you'll have, for example, the families would be joint at that time mostly. So you have many members, and they would place, 2, 3 surahis near the bed. And then if anybody had to drink, this is how they learned that you take the surahi and you don't touch your mouth, you just drink it from the surahi.
Oh.
That way, everybody can use those surahis. It's not like if there are 10 people, you need 10 surahis. You don't. If there are 10 people, you probably need 2. And each person can just take the surahi and drink from the top, and without any infection or anything used there. So that was one way where we learned when we were small that, hey, if you are sleeping on the night and you are thirsty, then you have to drink like that from the surahi.
That's how you learned how to drink
And
that.
that's how, and then later on, of course, the bottles came and plastic came and all that stuff came.
But the other plus point of using surai is that now we know that plastic, it contains certain things that are, probably can cause you diseases because it's made of plastic. Plastic is not good. But surai, even people nowadays are going back to it because that's safe. And it's not only that, it keeps the water also cold.
Yeah.
And unlike in refrigerator, who knows what, might be happening, or we don't know, maybe later after many years, research might show that, using, water from the fridge is probably contaminating it in some way and, probably affecting your body system. Who knows? Because we've heard rumors about microwave also, like, warming food in microwave probably is causing cancer or something like that. So maybe one day they might say that in refrigerator also there's some kind of a problem. But surais are something that are really, really good, to use. So that's
Right,
another
yeah.
great thing.
And the fact that, like they were taking example of Christianity where you have to go to the Sunday Mass or a Saturday Mass or something, and if you don't come, then the priest over there is kind of upset with you that, hey, you normally don't come. So, I mean, you don't love God and so forth. So that is just one example. It's good that Hinduism, that is not the concept. Everybody, I'm sure, has a small temple in their home, although we believe God is everywhere. But the temple gives you focus in the sense that when you go there, you can sit for some time and think about God. And so that was a really good thing.
And the other thing was, did you see that they were giving some kind of prasad or something like we call, but he was putting it in the mouth of everyone. That's again not very, hygienic, I would say.
And the other thing I would say is fasting probably is very
Very
critical
good,
thing
yeah.
because I'm hoping that every Indian has kept a fast in one way or the other. So at any time of emergency, they can take that day as, okay, I'm fasting, and that is considered great. So many of these things, and I think we did cover. The other critical thing is that in India, uh, people do take a bath every day. The person could be rich, the person could be poor. Many times you can see poor people just taking a bath with the bucket of water, or a community
Through
tap, or
hand pump.
hand pump,
Yeah.
or anything. But you would see that, I mean, in my time, when I used to go early morning to the school, I had to walk like probably 2 kilometers something, where the school bus would come. And while on my path, everybody is getting up and getting ready, and you would see almost everybody taking a bath. And that was the way that when you get up in the morning, you have
Yeah.
to take a bath. That is always happen. But when you come to the US, you see that is not so much that pattern. Many people take bath in the night. Many people take bath alternate days. Because the other factor is, yes, I mean, there is not much dust around, there's not much
Pollution.
pollution around, but we are used to, when you get up, you have to take a bath irrespective of anything. But here it is more relaxed. So I think that is also very important thing. I remember in villages, people every day go to the ghat to take a bath.
And that too with
Whatever
cold
thing.
water. And I've heard even taking bath with cold water is considered to be better for health as compared to taking a bath with hot or warm water.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in our home, because at the time, the geyser system was not so great. So you have to take that cord,
Oh, yeah.
and you warm it.
Yeah.
And because nobody had that kind of time
In
in
the
the morning,
bucket, and you had
so
to-
the water would be kind of okay, warm or cold kind of. So many times you would take a bath, and we had learned how to take a bath with cold water, and it would obviously depend upon the speed. So you go and you very quickly dump the water on you as fast as you can, and that is like a shock going on so quickly. You're dumping the water at the time, and then you're okay, done. And because the water was kind of okay, cold and hot, but you had to take a bath, and you were quick on it. And even in summers in our time, although the stuff is summers, things are, but
The tanky used to be on the top, and the water
Yeah.
used to be really hot. So we had to. It reminds me. We used to have buckets filled up in the bathroom so that the water becomes cold, a little cool, and then we would take bath. And that also reminds me, when you were talking about winters, I still now that remember that we used to have, as you were talking about that heating thing that you put in the bucket.
heating rods.
Yeah, rods, yeah. So heating rods. And at times, when it was time to go to school, the light wouldn't be there. There would be no electricity. So they could not, warm the water. So we had to take a bath with that cold water. And I still remember we used to put it and say, ram, 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 and just put it quickly, and then wrap ourselves with the towels and rush out wearing our clothes that we are done with it. So those are fun times too. But yes, friends, these are all really marvelous memories that we recollected by watching this video. So we hope you enjoyed watching this video with us, and we'll go ahead and take your leave, and we'll come back again in another video very soon. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Oh, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so it notifies you when I put in my new video for you to enjoy. Bye!